Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with the prosperity of our oil and gas wealth comes a price. Thousands of abandoned wells, pipelines and facilities with $1 billion cleanup price tag. The companies get their resource and walk away. The big question is who will pay to clean up these sites. My questions are to the Minister of the Environment. Can the Minister tell us why taxpayers are paying $30 million to clean up orphan wells? They mess it up, we pay to clean it up.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there's two reasons. First of all, because this government is committed to keeping Albertans at work, and that's the underlying reason for having this expenditure put in place at this point in time. There are thousands of service rigs and individuals that work on those service rigs that are looking for work at this point in time. And so that's part of the reason. The other part of the reason, Mr. Speaker, is because it's an opportunity for us to address some long-standing issues that yes, industry is responsible for, but at $10 million a year, it's going to take a lot longer than what we can accomplish at $40 million.
The Honourable Member.
To the same Minister. Given that the $30 million taxpayer subsidy is only for the upstream oil and gas industry, are taxpayers going to be on the hook for the downstream facilities as well?
The Honourable Minister.
Well, let's be clear, Mr. Speaker. Companies that are currently operating in this province are and will continue to be responsible for the reclamation of everything that they do. Orphan wells are different, Mr. Speaker. Orphan wells are wells that were drilled long ago that for what reason or that numerous reasons the company that was responsible for drilling those wells is no longer in business, has gone bankrupt, or for whatever reason is not in a position to be held responsible and liable. Industry pays into a fund to address orphan wells. All this does is speed up the rate at which those wells are
Thank you. To the Minister of Energy. Given that for 07-08, industry contributed only $13.6 million to the Orphan Wells Fund, and there are over 37,000 abandoned sites for which the ERCB estimates more than $9 billion will be needed to reclaim them all, why is the fund set up to only collect a fraction of the cost of what's needed?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, again, it's interesting that we stand and answer questions relative to newspaper articles and articles that other people publish relative to the business related to energy in the province of Alberta. And it's very true that there is somewhere in the neighbourhood of $12 or $13 million a year collected. The fund actually has about $110 million in it currently, and they spend about $12 million a year working on orphan wells. The Orphan Well Association, of course, directs that work. Mr. Speaker, much different situation that we're talking about here. This is not abandonments. These are orphan wells. Mr. Speaker, there's an obvious disconnect between what the member is talking about and what it is we're doing.